Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is Sunday and topic of today is project management. The name of the topic is what are the project management process groups. So project management as a fundamental is divided into two important areas. One is called process groups, another is called knowledge area. In this video, we are going to look at what are those process groups. Many of you must be knowing it, but not in a structured manner. This video will help you to know you in a structured manner. Before we get into the process groups, we need to know what is the project life cycle, and both are interrelated. So look at this chart very carefully. Project life cycle will always in a starting phase, to always an organizing or planning phase. Then we do the work and then we end the project. This is in broad sense the projects are executed worldwide, globally, everywhere, and every type of each type and every type of projects. In project management terminologies, this life cycle is divided into five process groups. Which are those five process groups? They are there in front of you. The process groups includes initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. So this takes care of entire gamut of project life cycle. After closing, we hand over the project to the next team who operate it and take the beneficial use of that project. So we are going to discuss about these five process groups, and in next video we'll talk about the next topic which is mentioned below is knowledge areas. There are 10 knowledge areas which we'll be covering in the next video. So let's move on and see this picture in front of you. Any project will have a starting phase. Every project needs to be initiated. Each and every project needs to be initiated well, and there are processes which needs to be followed in a structured manner to ensure the projects are initiated well. Wrongly initiated projects will have cascading effects throughout the project life cycle. So initiation has to be a proper, and this is the group, the process group of initiation takes care of all those processes, all those structured, all those methods which can be adopted for smooth initiation of a project. And that's why this phase or this process group is extremely important, because it lays a foundation for a project to kick in properly. If there are issues in the foundation, and you may know what happens, even the building collapses, the project will collapse. Similarly, the next process group is planning. So once I have an idea what needs to be done, what needs to be done on a project, I can plan, and that will get a lot of inputs from the first process group, which is initiation. So I know what is to be done. Now in planning, I will do and refine what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, when it needs to be done. So these aspects are taken care in planning, and planning is again an important aspect which gives direction to the project. First we have initiation, then we have planning. Based on inputs taken from initiation, we do a planning of project. Based on the plan, I execute. So in most of the projects which from where I come from, there is less respect given to planning, but planning has to be given the most important respect, because I will execute the plan. Obviously, all those planning elements may not work as per plan. There will be some deviation, but I must have plan. So what I do in executing, I execute the plan. And again, as I said, in execution, there may be few things which may not go as per plan. But how do I detect this? How do I trigger this? And that's why monitoring and controlling process groups becomes important. So in monitoring part, there are two aspects here, monitoring and controlling. In monitoring parts, I detect, is there any deviation? Am I going out of the plan? Is the deviation too huge? All this data gets collected from the executing. So I will get the data once I start executing a project. Now that data I will compare with the plan and see, is there any deviation? Now what I should do based on data, I need to take action, and that's the controlling part. So where I will try and make sure that I will limit or reduce the deviation, try and bring back the project on the track if there is a deviation. If it is not possible, then I will change the baseline of the project. So if I take about schedule baseline, then I will say that instead of March, this project will get completed in April. But how will I know? Once I do a data gathering, which is done through monitoring, and then I take actions. And even if I take actions, those are not sufficient to complete the project on time, I may extend with a proper approval, with proper change control process. And that is what this monitoring and controlling process group does. At the end, I will close the project. Now, how to close the project is not very simple. There are again structured processes, methods, and process groups which are required to be followed so that you close the project properly and there are no things which are left behind just like that. So nobody will come and knock your door again that you didn't complete the project properly or you did not close the project properly, both in a technical manner, both at site, both at accounting end, both at financial end. All the matters needs to be closed, the documents needs to be established, and lessons learned can be added, and we can consider the project as closed. So this is process group, my friends. I hope you got value. Now, how these process groups interact? Is it like that I will first do initiation, then I will do planning, then I will execute that plan? No, there is interrelating. There is an interaction of processes throughout the project lifecycle. So if you look at initiating process group, it goes on, but my planning starts. I don't wait for the entire process groups to get end. That is the interaction which happens on all projects. But if you look at one of the process group, it starts, that is called monitoring and process group, monitoring and controlling process group, which starts with the starting phase and it ends with the close of the project. So this is the one group which is there permanently present in entire life cycle. Otherwise, all the other process groups interact. So we get some idea, we start executing, but the monitoring and controlling process groups is present throughout the project life cycle. Closing also you can see it starts almost in the mid of the project life cycle, and because we have to do a lot of activities in closing, we can't wait for the execution to get complete and then I start closing. So these are some of the things which I wanted to convey in this video. I'm sure you got the value. Please follow me on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and ajazkazi.com. All the links are given in the description box. Thank you very much for your patient listening.